Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining, and welcome to Dharma Yoga practice. As always, please practice according to your conditions and your ability level. Feel free to try the variations if you know them, and if you're comfortable with them, and modify if you need to. I'll try to give options for different levels of practitioners. Thank you again for joining. Begin, seated tall, supremely still, close the eyes, bring the attention inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need is already within. Before creation, what existed? It was always God. God will always be there, even beyond the ends of this universe. Attune to that God consciousness now, and remain established in it. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we acquire a strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So let's start off with the mantra Om Namah Shivaya, which means I bow to the inner light. Response. Let's first start with a mantra for purification, to purify the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. If you know it, you can chant along with me. If you don't, just imagine that you're filled with the Guru's voice and you're chanting it perfectly. You derive all the benefits, all the same, of the purification in the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. 3 times, try to do each one loudly and with conviction so it can be heard by the inner and outer bodies. And try to do it all in one breath each time. Om Pavitraha Pavitrawa Sawa Vashtanga Topiwa Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabahya Bhyantraha Saji. Om Pavitraha Pavitrawa Sawa Vashtanga Topiwa Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabahya Bhyantraha Saji. Om Pavitraha Pavitrawa Sawa Vashtanga Topiwa Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabahya Bhyantraha Saji. Now bring your attention to the crown. And we'll chant the sound SUM, S-U-M. Concentrate on the M part of the sound. The vibrations will help to produce mental sharpness. We'll do it 3 times. Inhale. Concentration at the crown. SUM. Alert, let's begin the practice. Come to standing. Start off by charging the body with the Earth's breath, Earth's energy. Stand your feet about 10 inches apart. Bring the hands up. Inhale from the soles of feet right up to the fingertips. Feel as though the Earth's energy was rising right up through the body. Watch it rise. Holding it all at the fingertips. Hold the breath. Exhale all the way back down to the soles of the feet. Evenly and steadily. Inhale again. Watch your energy rising up through the body. Attract it to the fingertips through your attention. Holding it at the fingertips, suspend the breath. Exhale all the way back down. Feel the earth's charges flushing all the way down throughout. Last time, inhale. Feel the earth's energy again rising up. Visualize it coming up all the way to the fingertips, filling you up from within. Holding it all at the fingertips now. Hold the breath. Exhale all the way back down. Feel as though you're fully charged and energized. Bring the arms down now. Hands on the hips. We'll start with some exercise to prepare the body for the practice. Roll the head in circles. Trying to touch the ears to the shoulders. The chin to the top of the chest. The back of the head touching the top of the back. Move in a way that is graceful. Pretend you're the witness watching the body moving. Switch directions now. Try to see the floor in all the directions as you take the head around. now, just allow the arms to go heavy. Imagine they're heavy ropes. Swing from side to side, allowing those arms to slap against the body. They look all the way around you. And then start to move a little bit faster, so just start to shake the shoulders. Feel as though the arms were dead. Again, just allow them to just hit the butt against the body any which way. Allow the head to fly in all the directions. And then start to slow it down. Good. Now we're going to take your left foot forward, the right foot a little bit back. There's a little bit of different distance between the feet. Imagine you had a weight in your right hand and just start to wind up. Go back in the other direction. Feel as though you're winding up to throw a ball. Forward again. If you have any shoulder issues, you can support with your left hand. Just press your hand against the inside of the shoulder and then go backwards. And then the other leg. The right foot in front, and then again, feeling as though you had weight in your hand to give you momentum for the arm to swing more easily, and then go back. Forward again. And back. Loosen up the shoulder. Now for your waist, you bring your feet 10 inches apart. Take hold of your elbows, slide them down to the shoulders, and go from side to side. Now back and forth, front and back. Arch the back, then round the back, bring your chin to the chest. Back to the center, and then very rapidly go from side to side. And release. Bring the arms down. Shake at the wrists. Move the fingers very, very rapidly. Then up and down. Good. Lion's breath. So you make a fierce face like a lion roaring. The eyes go wide, the tongue hangs out of the mouth, and it's a good way to release tension. Looks like this. Okay, let's do it together. Coming back up. From here, take your arms out to the side. If you need to, you have your trouble balancing, you can just hold onto something, onto a chair, or place your hand against the wall. And we're just going to swing the right leg back and forth. Try to come forward a little bit with your body as your leg comes up so your knee can touch the shoulder. And then throw the leg back so you're trying to kick yourself in the head from behind. Try it on the other side now. Release. Okay, so now let's come to the top of the mat. Bring the hands to the heart, close the eyes, and remember that the renunciation and the fruits of the practice makes the practice even better than meditation. Make this your divine duty towards all beings everywhere. Let's move together as one to stay in that collective mind. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back if you see fit. Come forward and down. Bend your knees if you need to. Bring your hands flat on the ground, just on the thighs. Bring the right foot back into a lunge. Lower the knee, push the seat in. Drop the seat down nice and low. Come into high plank. Lower the knees, bring the seat all the way back behind the heels. Then glide forward. Brush your nose as you come forward. Raise the head, bring it all the way back. Cobra. Bring the seat all the way back 2 more times. Glide between the arms. Pull with your arms as though you're trying to pull the floor towards you. Come all the way back one last time. Glide forward smoothly between the arms. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the seat up and back. Mouth the heart. Right foot forward. Bring the back knee down if you need to first, and use the right hand to assist the foot forward if your foot doesn't come all the way forward. Bring the feet together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come all the way up to standing. Hasta Uttanasana. Hands back to the heart. Again, raise your arms up on the head. Don't worry about the breath. Just move the body in a way that feels natural. Now allow the breath to stay steady and even. Left knee back and on the ground. Into the plank. Lower down, Ashtanga as you bring the seat all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward again. Coming up gracefully, gliding smoothly between the arms. Again, come forward. Just move the body. The breath will know what to do. All the way back again. And feel like you're doing a dance. Seamless transitions. One pose melting into the other. Lift the hips all the way back. Left foot forward between your hands. Sink down to the seat. Feet come together. Chest on the thighs. Head down. Come all the way up. Hands back to the heart. Reach up and back. Go forward and down into Uttanasana. Right foot back into lunge. Into the plank. Now right away, knees, chest, forehead down to the ground and scoop right into your Cobra. Shoulders back, chest open. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the seat up and back, melt the heart. Right foot forward. Sink down to the seat. Bring the feet together, bow to the legs, a gesture of humbleness. Bring your arms up over the head, gaze up as though an offering. And return home, hands to the heart. Again, arch back. Move according to your condition. Hands down, heads down, left foot back. Into the plank. Lower down. And glide through between the arms. Into the Cobra. All the way back. Seat up and back. Left foot step forward. Feet together. Bowing down again as though in humbleness. Come all the way up. Hands back to the heart. Reach the arms up. And come down to forward fold. Chest on the thighs, join hands behind the back. Extend through the crown and push the body into your legs. Bring the face towards the shins. If your legs are straight, you can have your whole front of the body glued to the legs. And the arms come over the head, beyond the head. Now release the hands. Bring the right foot back. Lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Drop down to the seat nice and so you get balance. Raise the arms up over the head. Stretch the body out of the hips. Kapyasana. And bring the hands back down. Now plant the hands if you can. Swing the left leg all the way up and back. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Three-legged dog. Come forward to high plank. If you can, you're lowering down your chest first. Squeeze the elbows by the body. If you need to, you can lower your knee at the same time as your chest comes down. Then your feet meet on the ground. Come forward into Cobra. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right leg up. Train your body to move gracefully, fluidly. Step the foot down quietly. Sink down to the seat. Raise your arms up over the head. Arch the back. Form like a crescent shape. Move with your body. And then bring the hands down. Bring the left foot into the right. Chest again on the thighs. Join the hands, extend to the crown, and pull the body down onto your legs. Uttanasana. Release the arms, come all the way up to standing. Hands back to the heart. Again, arms up. Every movement, an expression of devotion, divine love. Bend the knees, land the belly on your thighs, join the hands, extend to the crown, and pull the head down towards the ground. Stretch your arms further forward, and then release the hands beside your feet, the left foot back. Lower the knee down, come into your deep lunge here, out to the asana, and bring your arms up, crescent moon, pull the arms back over your head. And then bring the hands down. Plant your hands, bend the toes under on the left foot. Swing the right leg all the way up and back and behind. Three-legged dog. Come forward, so your shoulders come over the fingertips. Again, pull the elbows in close to the body as you lower your chest down. Again, if you need to modify, but bring your knee down along with your chest. And come forward into Cobra. Back into all-encompassing. Left foot up and back. And bring the left foot forward to the hands. Sink down to the seat and raise your arms over the head. Feel like you're a shapeshifter moving through the form seamlessly. Eventually merge with all forms, all one. Feet together, chest on the thighs, and then bow down deeply. Release the hands, send the arms over the head. Arch back, Hasta Uttanasana. Hands back to the heart. Now try another variation. Be open to all experiences. They're all valuable. They all teach us something. Pull the body down onto your legs. Uttanasana again. Lift the hand, chest, shoulders over your fingertips. Push into your hands and glide back. You can also walk back. Land on your chaturanga or on your belly. If you can, if you have the strength, pull yourself up into upward facing dog. So your thighs and your knees are up the whole time. Off the ground. Now here, just flex a little bit, push your chest forward, bring your head back. Feel as though you're a dog howling at the moon. Get your head up high. And then roll over your toes into downward facing dog. Pulse again. Bow to the chest. Try to get your arms to flatten, your shoulders to flatten, come closer to the ground so the head can strike the ground when it comes down below the arms. Belly comes towards the thighs. Good. Now lift the heels, bend the knees, look between your hands. Bring your feet forward, hopping or walking. Pull the body down onto your legs again. Right up to standing. Arch back. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up over the head again. Go down gracefully. And chest lift, press into your hands. Again, smoothly back into chaturanga. Through to upward facing dog and make your modifications as you need to. And here, we're just going to oscillate between the upward facing dog and downward facing dog. So come back into downward facing dog to make your transition back. Roll around your back, roll over your toes, and then uncoil. Back the same way, chin in, push the heart up into your shoulder blades, but then sink it down towards the ground and downward facing dog. One more time. Roll over your toes, pull the navel into the front of the spine. Come into upward facing dog. Feel as though you're doing a dance. Always graceful. Back into downward facing dog, always in a way as pleasing for the witness to watch. And then here, lift the heels, bend the knees, look between your hands. Bring your feet forward again, landing them softly. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come all the way up to standing. Arch back. Hands back to the heart. Take pause here for a moment. Breathe in from the heart up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain in a mindset of offering up everything to the highest self and therefore to all beings. Release the hands. So let's come into balance poses now. Stand on your left foot. Take the right foot up, holding the heel. Ballet pose. So the thumbs behind the heels if you can. Raise the leg and the arm at the same time. At the same height, the toes and the fingers. So you're, depending on flexibility, your toes and your hands might be able to hide the shoulders. If you're more flexible, pull the leg up higher, closer to the shoulder, but you have to lean to the left a little bit, so again, your fingers line up with your toes. If you're having trouble, you can just, straighten your leg and keep your knee bent or hold underneath the shin and use your shin to press into your calf, and then see if you can get your leg straighter. Push the foot out to the side. Now from here, we're going to bring the foot forward. Take your left hand to your left hip, press down to your hip, bend your knees. You can take hold of the big toe. Lock your fingers, your index finger and your thumb around the big toe. Push the foot out again in front. And if you can, if you feel comfortable, soften your left leg a little bit. lean back. Try to get your foot up higher. Push through the base of the toes. Arch your back. And release, come back down. Try it on the other foot now. Starting off with ballet pose. Don't worry about the results. Let go of all expectations, all attachments to the results. So again, come into the shape that is suitable for you. Be poised and magnificent and graceful like a dancer. Again, bring a leg up higher if you can. Lean to the right. And then come back upright, bend the knee, right hand pressing down into your right hip. Lock the index finger and the thumb around the big toe. Push the leg out in front, the foot out in front. And again, see if you can lean back a little bit. Soften the right leg. You have to keep pushing through the base of the big toe. Push the chest up. See if you can go back a little bit further. The leg up higher. Break the pose, come back down. Come to the back end of the mat. So, eagle pose or toppling tree. With your eagle pose, your hands are joined, you interlace your fingers, and your palms are open. If it's too much for your shoulders, you can keep your arms apart. Step forward with the left foot, and then dive down, bend the left leg, a little bit left leg, and then bring the right leg up. Try to get your hands over your shoulders. Your palms are open, your head is about the height of the knee. So you have to fall towards your toes a little bit, really press into the base of the toes and the toe pads. From here, release the hands, drop the left hand down to the ground, stay on the fingertips, open up to the right, come into Chandrasana, bring the right leg up higher. Try to get your shoulders and hips right on top of one another. Option here to take a bind with your foot. So bend the knee, take hold of the foot and push the foot away from the seat. Bring the right shoulder back. Now you can look forward, look to the ground in front. You can stay like this. Even if you don't have the bind, you can stay like this. Or if you have the ability, take half breath in, push off the foot. Come into dancer. So any variation you like. You can cant the body forward, pull the foot up. If you're having trouble, you can also just stay a little bit more upright. With your thigh against your other thigh, your foot close to your seat, and straight up like this. Always an option. Now let's release. Come back down gracefully. Try it again on the other foot. Come back to the back end of the mat. Start again. You can join your hands or allow them. I'll do it the other way this time, like a gliding eagle. Take the right foot forward, lean down, bend into right leg, and then lift the left leg up. And then open up your wings. Imagine you're soaring from a great height, swooping down at great speed. Imagine yourself as an eagle. You have to try to pass through all the forms through the practice. You find the ease where you imagine where the form is in ease, that's where you're trying to go. And now, Chandrasana, right fingertips come to the ground from the foot. If you're having trouble getting your hand to the ground, you can also come onto the knee and do it like this. Okay, so that's it. If you had trouble the first time, that's an option. Otherwise, turn to your left, and then raise your left leg up higher, bring the left arm up. Shoulder back, shoulder and hips aligned one on top of the other. Option here to bend the knee, take hold of the foot, push the foot away from the seat, try to get your chest a little bit more open. Pull the foot up higher, away from the head. And then look down in front,
Roll left hip in, and you can stay like this. You can keep the right knee as bent as you need to, keep your hand on the ground, or press off the front foot, the right foot, come up into dancer. And then any expression you like. Come forward a little bit, keep your chest high. Be proud and graceful like a dancer. Or again, come upright if you can't quite find the extension. Just try your best. That's the effort that counts the most. And release, back down. Okay, so now we're going to come to the middle of the mat. Stand sideways so you face the long edge of the mat. Bring the fingertips in line with the elbows, and then jump your feet apart in the star pose. We're going to go to the left, so if you're facing the wrong way, away from the camera, you can just jump 180 degrees. So position yourself so you can still see the camera, and then come forward into your Virabhadrasana 2. Shoulders down, arms level with the shoulders. Gaze over the front hand, come into the consciousness of a warrior. Strong and mighty, courageous, determined. Sweep the right arm up to meet the other one. Virabhadrasana 1. Take the head back behind the arms. Straight line from the base of the spine right up to the fingertips. Exhibit devotion in this pose. Good. Now from here, press into the front foot. Straighten up the leg. Take the hands behind the back. So there's a few options to the hands. You can join the hands if you like, or you can have your hands on your seat. This might be a little bit more, provide a little bit more support. Push the hips forward, pull down, and see if you can bring your chest up and your head back. Do it slowly, do it mindfully. With your hands together, you can just press your hands against the inside of the right leg, close to the knee. Now lift the heart, really push through the back foot to come back up. And then bend the front knee. From here, sink down to the seat, humble warrior. It's a warrior, so you have to go to the right a little bit, so your shoulder can slide to inside knee, doesn't get caught on top of the knee. Try to bring your head down. If your head doesn't come down, you can bend your knee, lower it down, and come down like this. Or you can keep your hand on your seat and right hand on the floor. And so just do what you can. Just try your best again. Now here, express humility. Break the pose, bring the hands back down into the back. Lift your head up and lower the back knee down. Sink down, bring your seat close to the front heel. Left hand to the front knee, right hand slides down the back leg. Curve the side body, try not to create folds in the waist. You can stay like this if this is sort of giving you enough of a stretch, it's you're at your edge. If you can, you bring the right foot up, bring it into the crook of the arm. Foot is close to the shoulder, so squeeze your arm, the foot in, fingers close to ears, so when your left hand comes around, it finds a hand more easily. And then push the foot away from the shoulder. Try to take that sharp angle out of your elbow joint. Make your arms look like a swan's neck. Make sure your chest is forward, that you're not hunching or tipping over to the right. Push the left shoulder back, look up. And bring the foot down. From here, turn forward. Move the left foot out a little bit, and then just fall to the right. Roll towards your right so the right forearm can come down. Come back to the left, and see if you can get your left forearm down. If it's too much, you can stay on your hands like this. Otherwise, just telescope your chest forward, reach forward, keep lengthening, and then as you lengthen, your body comes down closer to the ground. If you're flexible, you can get your chest eventually right on the ground. So from here, you just try to make sure the knee's not popping away from the body. It starts to do this kind of thing. Move your foot out a little bit more so your knee stays over the foot. And you try to have your knee higher than the rest of the body. If you're flat on the ground, take other variations. Your left arm comes in front of the foot, from the outside it goes underneath the knee, over your back, and you can You can hold your right wrist as your left hand. Shoulders just on the inside of the toes of the left foot. Now be like a lizard. Be still. Imagine you're setting yourself on a warm earth. Try not to blink, just like a lizard doesn't blink. Copy the form physically, even mentally if you can. Now coming back, push your way back up, slide your left foot in. So your legs should be like a box. Bend the toes under the back foot, raise your right arm up. You can either keep your left hand on your hip, roll hip down, right hand to the outside of the knee, or hand on the seat to more, if you have more mobility. Inhale, lift through the chest, push the knee towards the right as you twist towards your left. If you can, lean back, take your left hand to the outside of the heel. Grow tall here. Keep pushing that foot and the heel towards the right as you turn more to the left. Look over your back shoulder. Now you can stay here, of course. If you want to go further, Parivita Paschimottanasana. The right arm comes up. Dive all the way down to the left, so your armpits stay on the outside of the knee. And then from here, I should do it this way so you can see. Left hand pushes into right, or fist and hands a little bit easier to get a little bit more leverage. As you push the right hand into the left hand into the right, the body comes up, belly's higher than the thigh. And then you roll the left shoulder back, push the center of the chest towards the thumbs. Look over your left shoulder. If you can, if your elbow's in this free space below the knee, you can just use your left hand to guide the right arm underneath. So push your seat back a little bit. Hand comes against the belly, left arm over the back, you hold the wrist, and then last step perhaps is to take the back knee up off the ground. Extend through the heel, extend through the crown, and then tug on the arm, try to get a little bit deeper. Feel as though you're lying on your back right beside your left leg. Break the pose, bring the right hand down, Vasisthasana from here. So some of you might be able to do it this way, always change your orientation so you can get hopefully the best angle. Push into your right hand, push the seat back, and then press the back outer edge of the foot on the ground. Make sure the toes are angled 45 degrees, the base of the big toe down. So you might be able to come right up into this pose. You have to keep your hips high, steady on your left, right hand, and your right foot. If you have the reach, take hold of the foot. If that's too much, there's always variations. You can just do normal side plank, left foot in front of the right, crossing the ankles, maybe even a right knee to the ground. Open up, push the chest forward. Feel like a kite being blown from behind, being pushed from behind by the wind. Make it an offering. Now from here back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. So we're going to take the left foot up. If you can, you might want to hold on to the front edge of the mat. If you like, pull on the mat. Try to get your head down to the ground. You might need to shorten your stance a little bit. And then see if you can reach the right hand back. And take hold of the inner, either shin, or if you're more flexible, step your heel down onto your fingers. Raise the left leg up higher. If it's too much, you can just take your hand wherever you can. You can just place your finger halfway to the foot. So just again, just try what is suitable for you. From here, lift the head and bring the left foot between the hands. Spin on your feet, facing along the edge of the mat. Bring your arms out to the side and up again, coming back into starting position. Now, when you go to the right, turn the right foot forward. Virabhadrasana 2 if you're facing the wrong way again. Jump 180 degrees, jump around and then go into the pose. Go a little bit forward, try to get nice and low. Long and strong. Bring the left hand up, sweep it up to meet the right. Virabhadrasana 1. If it's too much for your hips, you can't get your hips square, lift the back heel up, press it with your toes. Reach up here. And now lean forward a little bit, bring more weight to the front foot, and then push the front leg straight. Back foot can move in a little bit, make sure the back foot is strong. Again, take your hands to your hips, push your heels, your palms into your seat, and lift the chest, bring the head back. If you feel comfortable, join your hands together, slide them down the inside of the left leg. Now push into the left foot, stay strong for the back leg, especially to make yourself to come back up. Bend the knee in the front leg, and separate your feet a little bit more, so maybe get a little bit, if you have the hip flexibility, so you can get your head to the ground. Again, you can use the different modification options if you like. Lower the left knee down, bring your left hand on the ground, and your right hand on your seat, whatever you need to do. Express humility, the highest extent. Release the hands, bring left hand down, lower the left knee down. Sink down to the seat, bring your hips forward as much as possible. Right hand to the right knee, and then slide your left hand back. Curve your side body. Bring your hand all the way to the heel if you can. You can stay here or go into the swan. You can get your foot up, crook, bring it, the toes that crook the arm, toes close to shoulder, fingers close to ear, and then lock the fingers together and push the foot away from the shoulder. Turn your chest forward, look up. Look up as though to say, I'm yours to your service. Grant me higher devotion. Break the pose, bring the foot closer to the shoulder again to release it so it doesn't come down the big thud. Always moving away, that doesn't bring the witness into states of distress or that doesn't disrupt the witness. Then just roll to your left, fall to your left, so your left forearm comes down. Move the right foot out closer to the edge of the mat if you need to. Then the right forearm comes down. Then creep the chest forward. Keep on telescoping the trunk out of the hips. See if you can eventually get your chest on the ground. Or have the knee at least higher than the back if you can. Then you can take other variations if you like, if you're flat on the ground. Taper bind over your back. Right arm in front of the foot to the outside and underneath your knee. Over your back. Be like a lizard now. Settle into stillness. And then come back up. Press into your hands. Push your way back up. Slide your right foot in. Closer so the legs are like a box. Bend the toes under the back foot. Left arm up. Take your hand to the outside of the knee. Your hand on the other hand on the hip or on the seat. Inhale, lift the chest, and then turn towards the right. Can lean back. See if you can reach and touch the heel. Press against the heel with your right hand. And push the knee and the heel towards the left as you turn towards the right. Keep the lower back up, pressing in. The seat as well. If you want to go further, patting feet to posture Cramasana. You can stay with your knee on the ground. Just dive the left arm down. Right hand pushes into the left. Again, bring the belly higher than the thigh so you have more room to spin. Try to get your center of the chest to your thumbs. Your right shoulder go all the way back. If you know how to take a bind, go ahead. Take the seat back. Right arm over your back and hold it from underneath with your left. And you can take your knee up off the ground as well. Keep practicing, keep visualizing yourself in the practice that you're trying to attain. Have the faith in your practice, in your devotion, and then perhaps at some point the body will move easily into the poses. Keep up the efforts. Release. Bring the left hand down. The left hand's a little bit in front of the shoulder so you can keep your arms strong. Gives you a little more power. From here, spin on the back foot. So the left foot is at 45 degrees, and if you can, you come right up with your right knee. Holding your knee, have to raise your hips and lock them in place. And maybe take hold of the foot, or take your other variations. Perhaps just like so, or modify with your left knee on the ground. Push your hips forward. Make sure you don't collapse into your shoulder. Keep the left arm strong. Back into downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften. Form a steep curve from the back of the head all the way to the seat. Now if you want to walk forward, take hold of the front edge of the mat. Pull on the mat. See if you can flatten your arms a little bit so you can get your head down. Raise your right leg up. And from here, keep gripping that right hand firmly on the mat or tugging on the mat. Take your left hand back to the inner left leg, somewhere along the shin, or if you can, step on your fingers with your heel. Or take your hand somewhere in between if you can't get the reach. Push your left heel down, reach the right toes up to touch the ceiling. Then release the left hand and bring the right foot right through between the hands. Spin on your feet, facing along the edge of the mat. Arms out to the side, come all the way up. Bring your hands to the heart. Hero sequence. From the solar plexus, breathe up to the space between the eyebrows. Send all the power from that inner source right up there. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Imagine you keep on replenishing the supply up there through your own source. Make it available to all beings. Now, we're going to turn this way. As you can see, easy Cramasana. Turn your heels in a little bit. Adjust your feet so that they're comfortable, so you can go back with steadiness. Push your hands into your seat, bend your knees, lower your seat a little bit. And then see if you can bring your head back slowly. If you feel comfortable, you can walk your hands down the backs of the legs, holding just underneath the knees where you have good control of your legs. So you spin the thighs outwards and spin the shins outwards. Spin your thighs outwards and spin your shins inwards. I'm not sure if I said that right the first time. And then your thumbs come further between. If you feel comfortable, you can slide your hands further down, step on your fingers with your heels. If your head's close to the ground, you can see the ground easily. Some of you might be able to go into Urdhva. One hand at a time. Place your hands on the ground. You can stay on the fingertips if you like. Now to come back, if you're from Urdhva, bring right hand back to the back of the knee, push hard, push hips forward, and then the other hand. And then walk your way back, and then everybody can start to walk the way back. Palm your way back up. If your hands are lower than the seat, push into your seat, come back up. Arms out to the side. Now turn heels out a little bit so your edges of your feet are parallel. The other edges come forward and bring your hands either on your ankles or your shins, or step on your fingers with your edges of your feet. Try to pull your body right between your legs. Straight line from the seat right down to the top of the head. More flexible, try to bring your head further through. Try to get your chest behind your legs. Now, those of you who want to come into an inversion of some sort, you can. If your head's on the ground, you can place your hands on the ground. And then here, see if you can straddle up. Those of you who know how to do this. So, again, move according to your abilities and your comfort level. If you're stronger, but you can't get your head down to the ground, option to take forearm balance. Take your forearms in front, elbows on the ground. Lift up the heels and see if you can come up. This one's a little bit, requires a little bit more core. Make your way down. Engage your core as your feet come close to the ground so that you can land your feet softly. And then from here, arms up to the side, come all the way back up. Again, easy Chakrasana. One more round. Move the heels in. If you're very flexible, you can move your feet even closer. Okay, so have a little bit less distance in your feet and see if you can go further. Still, or come to the same extent, but a little bit more of a back bend if you kept your feet together or closer. Again, move according to your abilities. Don't go to the place of pain or distress or anxiety. Think about what you're transmitting. Everything through your practice, it's an offering. So make the offering as beneficial as possible, not one of suffering. And then again, walk your hands back up the legs, come back to release and come back up. Now bring your hands back to the heart. From the solar plexus, inhale up again to the space between the eyebrows. Make it available to all beings. Imagine all beings tapping into it. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Keep on replenishing the supply again. And then bring your feet and your hands together. Stand tall like a mountain. And imagine that you're unshakable and immovable and you're as much as a mountain in your devotion to the practice. Now come down onto your knees, headstand. If you know how to get into headstand, I invite you to go ahead right into it. Find where you're steady, and then if you feel comfortable, close your eyes and settle your attention on the space between your eyebrows. If you have a lotus, come into lotus. If you need some guidance as to other options, just have a few here. So if you're feeling you need to stay close to the ground, you can just bring your forehead down from the knees and lift the seat up. You can take your hands to your ankles, try to get your seat, your hips over your knees. If you feel too much pressure in the back of the neck, it's too much, just slide your head forward. If you want to go a little bit further, teddy bear, you take your heels, your palms, and line your knees. Again, your seat is over the knees. Make sure you can see your hands in front. They shouldn't be beside your head. Your arms at right angles. And then lift your seat, walk your feet forward, close to your wrists, and then just push just underneath the knees against the elbows. And here you can just flick your toes up. Your feet are very close to the ground. There's not very far you can go. So this is a pretty stable pose. Eventually you can try to bring your feet up. When you feel comfortable, move your knees closer towards your shoulders. And then perhaps you can take one leg up and back and move your other knee up off the knee instead of the chest. Keep pushing your thigh against the belly. Keep pushing back through that the foot that's behind you. Flex your toes. Keep your feet heavily hanging towards the ground. It's also a very stable position. Okay, so just move. The trick is to move slowly. You can, if it's too much to have your feet too high off the ground, you just take one foot close to the ground. Just tap your toes again once in a while up off the mat. Eventually they'll just hover there and stay. So go ahead, try your different variations. If you're comfortable, eventually you can move one hand, turn it, come onto your fingertips, your fingers facing away. Your fingers are like stands. And then once you have that hand, you can move the other hand more easily. You have lots of power in your fingertips. You push down with your fingertips, you can take the pressure off the head a little bit more. One more breath, perhaps. And then those who are up, come down slowly. with control, always come back down. Child's pose, forehead on the ground, feet on the heels, breathe in, breathe out. And roll up. So we're going to try one more, perhaps, or we can come into forearm stance for those of you who feel comfortable. So we're going to start off with holding your elbows in front of your your knees. You should be able to hold your elbows very easily, so your elbows are a little bit closer together than the shoulders. And then don't move your elbows, interlace your fingers in front and bring the head between the palms. And then lift your seat. Bring one leg back over your head. Keep your legs bent again. The foot is hanging close to the seat. Feet are flexed to keep your balance, your core engaged, so you can keep your pose a little bit more easily. And from here again, you can even just lift your heel and pulse up and down. Eventually, bring your toes up, flick your toes up. If you feel steady, you can bring your feet more in line with your hips. Push the left foot back. And from here, press down into the forearms. Push into the edges of your baby fingers. And here, take a breath in, hold the breath, and see if you can raise your head up off the ground. You might want to tilt your head forward a little bit, lift your chin. Some people find it a little bit more easier to do it this way than just straight up. So it's another way of getting into forearm balance. If you don't feel comfortable lifting your head, just keep your head on the ground. Those of you who feel comfortable can take the other foot to join. Arch your back to sink your chest a little bit. Bring your head forward, press one foot into the other, and try to get your feet closer to the head. So you have to bring your head forward a little bit so you don't fall back down. Advanced practitioners, as Dharma says, for professionals only. And then come back down. Relax. Child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Shoulder stand. If you know the front entry into the pose, you can do that. Otherwise, you can come onto your back. The easiest way to get into shoulder stand is to get momentum to come back, push into your arms so your legs go over your head. You don't even have to touch the ground. And then just move your arms behind your back. See if you can join your hands together. And then you can bring your hands to the lower back. You can keep your knees close to your shoulders if you need to, if it's again, at your edge, or bring your legs up. Push your hips forward so you have your toes in line with your shoulders, your chin. And then those you have in lotus, always makes it even better and helps to bring the mind into one-pointedness. Try to have your knees higher than your hips if you're in lotus. If you're right on top of your shoulders, you have to bring your knees a little bit in line with your head. You can bring your hands to your thighs. And when you find the steadiness, close your eyes. Again, everything stops. Try to even cease the mind activity by concentrating on the space between your eyebrows. Make your mind one-pointed. If the mind wanders away, just keep on pulling it back, very much like you're trying to tame a wild animal. It takes patience, takes perseverance, dedication. Those who have a lotus can come to Pundasana. Try not to change your mind. Focus. Try not to shift away from the space between the eyebrows. Those you know, embryo pose, the full pose, wrap your arms around the outside of the legs, join your hands underneath the feet. If you have a lotus. If you don't have a lotus, come down in halasana. The feet come behind your head. If you push into your back a little bit more, you might be able to get your feet down. If they don't come down, keep your hands on the back to support. You can alternatively bring your thighs right against the body and try to bring the knees on either side of the head. Squeeze your ears with your knees. See if you can go block out the sensory inputs are coming into the ears. Close the eyes. Withdraw from your senses to help you in your meditation to go, to stay inward. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, but deeper within, beyond the body, the mind, and the emotions. Now from here, moving into bridge pose. So if you have a lotus, release your lotus. Bring your hands on your back again. From here, come down one foot at a time. Keep holding your head up. Press your hands into your seat. Push into your upper arms. Anchor down to the upper arms so you can bring one foot down gently and then the other. Don't try to land. Don't try to bring feet both at the same time to land heavily. And from here, just stay in bridge for a moment. Lower your heels down. Push your chest towards your chin. Interlace your fingers underneath your body if you can. And if you can, go into couch pose. So just talk through that first. If you can't do this one, I'll just give another option, fish. So bring your heels together and you have to kind of walk forward on your shoulders and the elbows. Just kind of shimmy down, slither down until your elbows are close to the heels and you can hold your ankles with your hands. Then press into your elbows, lift your chest, your back and your head up off the ground and bring your knees down. Your seat is sitting on your heels and then bring the top of the head down. And keep holding on to your ankles. If that's comfortable, you can release your ankles, you can bring them in front of your head. Hold opposite elbows, press your forehead against forearms. If this is too much, so go into that if you're okay. If it feels too much from bridge pose, you just move your hands underneath your seat. Index and thumbs touching. Lower your seat down on your hands. You stay on your wrists. Extend your legs and push into your lower arms. Lift the chest. Arch your back and bring the top head to the ground. Fish pose. Push your chest up in both poses, couch or fish. Try to get your chest up to the highest level possible. Imagine you're beaming love out of your heart to all beings. And now breathe very fast and nose like a sniffing dog. Now those of you who can't, from couch pose, place your hands beside your head. Turn your hands so the fingers are facing towards the toes and lift up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. If you're in fish, walk your feet back towards the seat. Keep your head where it is. Place your fingertips on either side of the head, a little bit in front. Slide your head back a little bit further towards your feet and then turn your hands around. Fingers facing towards the toes, fingers spread. You can keep your head on the ground or take a half breath in, hold your breath. Hold that breath and then lift your head up off the ground. Urdhva Dhanurasana. And then just work the pose, lift up your heels, rock back and forth, try to stay a little bit longer. Those you can lift the left leg up. And see if you can keep pressing down the left hand. If you're strong through the hand, you might be able to come onto your index finger of the right hand. Okay, and then switch. Right leg comes up. Bring the knee towards the chest. Extend the leg. Keep pushing down to your left foot. You'd have to turn your foot out a little bit. And stay strong through the right hand. And see if you can come on to your index finger of your left hand. Right leg up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagine you're fainting, let go of all fatigue. Come up to seated position, any which way you like. Start off with star pose. So you bring your feet, I should do this way so you see the distance. So your feet are quite far in front, about 1.5 feet. And your soles of your feet together. And from here you interlace your fingers underneath your feet. Bring the index fingers to a point, pressing them together. And then from here, come down. See if you can bring your face onto your feet. So your eyebrows are at the base of the toes, your chin on the heels. From above, it looks like a 6-pointed star. The index fingers, the elbows, the knees, and the tailbone. So try to find balance in your star symmetry. Make sure your elbows are lined, your knees, and so forth. Inhale, lift up. From here, separate your feet a little bit more. Starting off, and you can stay like this. You can slide your forearms underneath your shins. Take hold of the outer edges of the feet, and again, try to bring your head down between your feet on the ground. It doesn't come down all the way, don't worry about it. Just do your best. If you're more flexible, you can do Cramasana. Your feet a little bit, just more than hip width apart, your shoulder width apart, and then slide your hands back. Your arms are close to the hips. Your legs are close to the shoulders so they don't come down at your elbows when you come forward. Cramasana. If your elbows are free, you can maybe take your hands and join them over your back. Now slow down your breath. Be like a tortoise without long breath cycles. Why do you live so long? Promote longevity of life through the longevity of your breath cycle. Inhale, lift, back up. Slide your heels in a little bit. From here, hang your legs over your arms. Try to get your legs closer to your shoulders and squeeze the outside of the arms to your legs. Bring your heels towards one another. If you can, if you have the strength, press into the base, the heels of your palms, the base fingertips, and the finger pads. Lean forward until you can just keep pressing the backs of your arms into the seat as well. And then your heels might come down to the ground so your seat lifts up, but keep your body level to the ground. Eventually you can bring your feet up. Shavasana. If that's too much, you come from there. Lift up first, come into a squat, and bring your shoulders in behind. If you do so on your knuckles, if it's too much for your wrists. And then just keep your body low, level with the ground. Walk your feet forward as much as possible. And then lift. So if your feet are too close, your seat's going to keep falling back. So you have to bring your body forward. So you have more weight forward, and then you can bring your feet up. If you're more able, you can just do seesaws here. You can do push-ups. Okay, so just play around. From here, if you can come right into Chaturanga. So bend your knees, straighten your arms, and jump back. If not, just come onto your belly. Okay, so now, just come forward. Rest your forehead on your hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften everything. And from here, come into Cobra. If you're feeling that you can't, if you're limited in your back bend, you can take hold of the front edge of the mat, tug on the mat, and just push your chest forward, away from your seat. Try to create as much space in your lower back as possible. Eventually you can lift your elbows up off the ground. Bring your head back, curve your spine a little bit more. And then you can see if you can walk your hands closer as you're coming up higher. Bring your feet together as well, like the tail of a snake. Walk your hands closer. Try to get as much height as possible. Imagine you're in the body of a snake. Imagine having that boundless range of motion. Merge with the forms, remember. Be one with the serpent. Start to come back down. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Try it again. Separate your feet a little bit this time. And then, for those who want, you can do the same thing if you're feeling that you need to stay in the more a softer pose. You want to try King Cobra, Bhujangasana. Slide your fingertips as close to your hips as possible. And then press into your fingertips. Really push into your fingertips. Get as much height as you can. So that the whole trunk is off the ground. Just the tops of your thighs that's where the contact starts with the ground. Open up your feet and then bend your knees, bring your toes up, point your toes, and keep on lifting up. Try to get height as opposed to just an extreme back bend. Eventually maybe the toes come to the head. Imagine you're squeezing socks behind your knees. Eventually you can get your heels, your palms down. Those who are very advanced can see if you can keep one hand on the ground, reach around, take hold of the shin, close to the knee with one hand, and then the other hand. So lots of different nice variations you can do. Move according to your condition. Come back. If you have the bound version, push into your chest, push your chest forward, and see if you can bring your shins down. And then come down. Come out of the poses in a controlled way. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Last pose. Back bend. Bring heels up towards the seat. Take hold of the ankles. And come up into your Dharmasana. Really kick through the legs to get your thighs up off the mat and try to get your feet higher than the head. You can rock on your belly a little bit if you like. If you know the full pose, go ahead. That's when you take your foot from the outside, bring your elbow up, but hide the shoulders, at least hide the shoulders so you can move the elbow forward without straining. And then the other foot comes up the same way. So bring the foot up. Once you have that foot, it's easier to take the other one. Again, try to get your elbow higher than the shoulder, so when you're not straining your joints. That's your full pose here. Lift up. Stay a little bit longer to make progress, to train yourself to be strong and determined. And then release. If you don't try, if you don't hold the poses, you stay, you don't make any progress. And if you don't make any progress, you lose your enthusiasm and you fall off the wagon. So just keep on cultivating enthusiasm by trying your best and trying new things once in a while. Now, come up onto your, back into your seated position. So from here, Adho Matsyendrasana, you can either fold the left leg in, knee in front of the middle of the bottom, knee in front, and your right foot to the outside, left foot to the outside of the right hip. Your other foot comes to the outside of the left knee. If you can't keep both sides of the seat down, you extend your left leg and you move your right foot a little bit further down towards beyond the knee. Left hand right down the center of the back, right arm up. actually the other way, sorry. Left hand up, right arm behind the back. Go to your right. Push your lower back up and in. Keep on encouraging the knee, a little bit more twist, pulling the knee way beyond the left edge of the body. Originate the twist from the very low down, from the base of the spine, base of the hips, all the way up. Release, come back, go to the other side. So do it this version this time, but you can keep doing whichever version. Do the same variation as you did the first time. Left hand pushes against the back, right arm up this time. And you press against the outer left thigh. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, turn. You start the twist low in the body, and imagine spiraling out, going all the way up through the spine. Eventually the head turns and the chin goes over the chest, the shoulder. Don't just turn the eyes. These twists are very detoxifying. You can hold on to your right heel if you like with your right hand. Keep pushing the knee to the right as you twist to the left. Back to the front, come to seat position. Sit comfortably, Sukhasana, Ardha Padmasana, or Padmasana if you like. Sit tall and supreme. So we'll do 5 rounds of purifier pranayama. So imagine that you're just cleaning the whole inside up. All the sacred receptors, when they're purified and they're open, they make you more receptive and to realize all that you tried, all that you want to, all your goals and your visions. Remember though, the biggest purifier, the most important purifier is ahimsa, being observance of the ethical rules. So just for this breathing technique, left hand in Yana Mudra, second finger and the thumb tips connected, other fingers extended on your left knee, right hand. Second, third fingers fold down towards the palm. This is Vishnu Mudra. Turn the palm towards you and then becomes the mudra that we use for pranayama. So we're inhaling through both nostrils for 4 counts. Holding your breath, you plug the nose, both sides of the nose closed, with your thumb on the right nostril, right ring finger on the left nostril. Attention to the third eye. Contract the muscles, pulling out towards the navel, chin on the chest, by bringing the chest high. And then we hold the breath for 12, exhale out through the left, release the lungs. So let's start. Exhale completely, empty the lungs. Inhale through both nostrils. 3, 4, hold the breath, plug the nose, apply the throat to the root block, third eye attention. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale to the left, 2, 3, release the locks, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right hand down, inhale through both nostrils, 2, 3, 4. Bring the chest up high, then hold the breath, chin on the chest, tongue behind the teeth, the upper roof. 4, 5, 6. Pull the perineum muscles up towards the navel. 12. Exhale through the left again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through both nostrils. 4, hold for 12. Everything stops. Imagine you're frozen in time. Even the activity of the mind ceases temporarily. 10, 11, 12. Exhale through the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 3, 4. Hold. Plug both sides of the nose. Throat lock, root lock. All the attention of the space in your eyebrows. 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 4. Hold the breath for 12. Train the mind to be one-pointed. Control the mind, or the mind controls you. Exhale through the left. Relax the locks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the right hand down. And now raise both arms up. So now that we're purified, or just imagine you're all purified from within to create a more habitable space for the highest self to reside within. Bring the palms up and inhale from the fingertips. Drawing the best universe down through the arms and into the spiritual heart, which is the residing place of God. Holding the breath and the intention at the heart. Keep all the energy and all the goodness that you drew in. Exhale now. Just the breath out through the fingertips, out through the arms. Inhale again from the fingertips down to the arms into the spiritual heart. Imagine you're a magnet drawing in the best of the best of the universe. Holding it all in the heart, hold the breath again. All the attention there, the intention of bringing all your offerings to God. Exhale out to the fingertips again, just the breath. Everything that pulls in, pulled in, stays in. Last time, inhale, draw in everything that you need to feel fulfilled, to feel complete and grounded and secure and loved. Holding it all in the heart. When you send it to God, God lives in all beings and it goes out to all beings as a result. Exhale out through the arms, just the breath again. Now, bring the arms down, prepare for Shavasana, lie down on your back. In this process, we're removing impurities through deep relaxation, letting go of all the physical, mental, and emotional barriers that prevent us from bringing in more and receiving more. The more we give, the more we have to share. Always an exchange, for we're all connected. Feel as though you're trying to share with everybody and everything. Now once you're on the back, start the process of relaxation. Relax. So we're going to find a little bit deeper relaxation through these instructions. So follow my instructions. And the visualization is also good for cultivating the imagination. You can only go as far as your imagination. So cultivate a boundless imagination so you can realize even more for yourself. From the left toes, inhale all the way up through the left leg, up through the spine, all the way to the ground, the head. Exhale as the breath moves back down. Feel the left side body falling heavily. Feel the left leg getting heavy as all the muscles just relax, release, all the way down to left toes. From the right toes now, inhale up through the right leg, all the way up through the spine to the crown. Exhale back down the same path down to the right toes. Feel the right side again sinking down heavily. The right hip, the right leg getting heavier and heavier. Anchoring down into the ground. From the left fingertips, inhale up through the hand, through the arm, through the shoulder, through the head, up to the ground. Exhale back down the same way. Feel the shoulder releasing, the head getting heavy, the arm feeling like dead weight. And then the right side, from the right fingertips of the right hand, inhale up through the right arm, right up through the shoulder, through to the crown. Exhale back down. Feel the head again getting even heavier. The shoulder releasing itself of all tension, tightness. The arm just relaxing and getting heavy as well. From the crown, inhale down fingertip into your left leg, right through the foot to the toes. Exhale all the way back up. Any tension at all that wasn't addressed the first time, any tightness, just release it all now. Feel the right side getting, left side getting very heavy as you make your way back to the ground. And from the crown down the other side, down the spine first, down through the right hip, through the right leg, all the way to the foot, to the toes. Exhale back up. The leg, the seat, the back, getting even heavier. Completely released of all tension, all effort. From the solar plexus, the source of power, inhale up to the crown. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Remain established in your inner power. Use it for good. Transmit it to all beings everywhere through your practice. From the fingertips and the toes, inhale up through the arms, up through the legs, through the pores of the skin. Draw on the best of the best. Pull it all the way up through the spine, right to the crown. Exhale back down. Feel flooded with all that goodness. All the way down, right through the fingertips, the toes, and through the pores. Let go of all negativity, anything you want to be rid of. Send it out. From the base of the spine, inhale up to the crown. Exhale back down to the base of the spine. Leave the body by itself in its stillness, as though it were just a corpse. And in fact, you are not the body. You are not the mind nor the emotions. The true self is formless, boundless in its potential, boundless in its ability to cultivate love and compassion and wisdom. And it is attained through our experiences. The highest form of selfless service is to share that spiritual knowledge with others as well, so we can give them the tools to help them break the patterns that cause pain and suffering. Now make an intention of just remaining in divine selfless service towards all beings. Repeat yourself the following sentence 3 times to ingrain in your heart and mind. I remain in loving service to all. Carry that intention with you in everything you do off the mat as well in your daily lives and all your interactions. And now prepare to carry that out now. Exercise on your daily life. Prepare to come back from Shavasana now. Make your way up to a seated position. Always mindfully, always gently, and quietly. Remain supreme in all circumstances, in all challenges, and all difficulties. Everything is perfect and is rolling out in a perfect way for us to become more spiritually correct, according to our conditions, according to our tendencies. Embrace all experiences, but they're all valuable, they're all lessons. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive attentive to the grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so very much.